So, and I'm switching out the planned first level, or would have been first level adventure that I wrote up for my campaign path. I planned the Conquest of Chaos because it's a little too goody two shoes for you guys. But I had another something that I was working on, so we're going with that. We'll introduce the goblins come to this town in a somewhat larger group of goblins. Train you guys, put out do the smoke signals or whatever, the incantations and to get some message back to the Dark Lord. And a larger group of goblins, a dozen of them come. You guys converse, say what you've learned, and then all but a couple of the goblins go away. These two goblins are here. They've been caught up on everything that happened last time. You guys have the equipment on your character sheets, but in addition, you've basically slaughtered a town of about 20 people. Very rural. Farming. Some livestock, stuff like that. So anything that you think you could find in a community of that sort, you would be able to find here. Whether that's oxen, rope. They're not going to have like a store of weapons, but hey, you can get some pitchforks and stuff like that. So if you want something along like that, feel free to decide that you have it. Basically, if you feel like it's a little iffy, go ahead and ask though. But, and it can also come up later. A little bit later on tonight, you could be like, hey, in that little town, would I have found X or Y? And I'll be like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, let's say you have that. So don't worry about it if it isn't popping into mind right now.
Sounds good.
But shortly after that, let's say that I don't know how you guys are spending your time here, or what your plans may have been for this place after you painted it red. But soon enough, a single human comes into town. He looks rushed. He looks like he's been, not well fed. You guys are out of sight, not just milling about. That's not your type of thing. And he sees what's happened to the town, and he just breaks down and crying, going, "Oh, I was too late! No!" And that whole deal. What would your guys' reaction to that be?
And so
is everything still on fire, or was he like literally moments too late, or has it?
No, like a couple days too late.
Okay, shouldn't be so dramatic.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if you guys were staking bodies or what have you. Tell me.
So what does the town look like? Is it just on fire, charred, or what? I don't know.
No, it was painted in red with the blood of the innocent.
Oh, they're being really literal.
I was being really literal. It wasn't my decision. Another player was like, "Yeah, remember that Clint Eastwood movie?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, the one where he's like the ghost of the sheriff who got killed." I think. Yeah.
Oh, sounds like the start of another adventure I know of.
So let's see. So this person runs into town, and it looked. Did they just fell to their knees?
Yeah, he's fallen to his knees, crying. "Oh, too late!" That kind of thing.
Looks like a job for the hag.
Hey, I'm not being quiet, guys. I'm trying to think of a rhyme, since I have to rhyme everything I say now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I said a hip hop, a hip hop.
Yeah, so part of my drawback is when I get corruption, it benefits my spells, but there's different corruption charts for the hag, and one I randomly rolled on is I have to speak in rhymes now, the fey corruption. So, okay, job for the hag.
Yep. So,
a human we see, make him bound to thee. I point to the whole group.
Yeah, and you see him kind of stand up and starts looking at a couple houses, looking in particular. Not one of the ones you guys are currently in, but you're like, he's looking around this town with an air of familiarity. Oh, of course, things are much different for him now. One of you asked what he's dressed like. He seems to be dressed in kind of, I'll say like, kind of in robes. He's not dressed like a typical traveler. It's not like priestly vestments, but it kind of gives you like acolyte vibes.
That's extra delicious. Okay. I will. How far away is he from us, Stefan?
Well, we didn't really establish where you guys are, so he's kind of like wandering the streets a little bit, like looking at houses that he once knew the people who lived there. So it depends where you are starting out.
Okay. So, yeah, what kind of houses are these? Are these just like little shacks?
Yeah, like mostly 1 or 2 room buildings where
Gotcha.
a farmer and his wife would be.
I mean, at that point, I'm a little ball of flesh, and being out in the sun a lot is probably not good for my complexion. So
Yeah,
I
that's
would
just
most likely
asking for a sunburn.
exactly. So I'm hiding indoors most of the time, trying different foods and stuff that are around in the ramshackle huts. So I like look, up through a window or something like that and see him. And we got my little eye popped up over the edge, just watching this person walk through, trying to stay hidden.
All right.
Oh,
Did he level up last time?
No, but you will after this time.
Okay, I wasn't fishing for it, but I thought we did at the end, and he became the imp form.
No, but that'll be fun.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm actually going to try to sneak up on it. I'm my occupation is guide, so I would think I'd be proficient in stealth.
Yeah, he's pretty distracted. If you give me an agility check, it won't be a very difficult one.
All right, so that's under my agility, so got it under by 4.
Oh,
Got a
now
7
we're
plus
rolling
12.
high. We do a roll high for our test, except for Vile.
Okay, so yep. All right, so yep, that's a 7 then, so not very
Okay.
great. Maybe it's good enough.
I'll say, he like turns around in a doorway, like tears in his face, and sees you, but like you have him at the disadvantage. But he's just spotted.
Okay. Is he within 30 feet of me?
Yeah, you're probably
Excellent.
like right behind him, freaking him the hell out.
I smile this big grin with that blood coming out of my mouth, constantly running down my chin, and I start casting a spell. Rolling the manifestation roll. So I raise my hand out, and these needles, like a porcupine's needles, fly out towards him. And let me roll my spellcraft check. Let's see what it is now. I've got a +5. Ooh. There we go, 24. Dang.
All right.
He's got on the dirt. Yeah, not quite. I almost got a nat 20. Got a 19. So let's see. A 24 is the caster gains control over 1d3 targets. So there's only one within 60 feet, so range is better. For 1d3 plus 1 turns. Nice. 2 turns. That's still 20 rounds.
20,
so they may give
20
verbal.
minutes, right?
Yeah. Verbal instructions for your homes, etc. Okay. All right. So he does get a will save DC 24.
Yep. Well, you don't have a personal effect of his, so he gets to roll on a D24.
Yes, that's right. You did write that in there. I forgot about that. Yep.
But I rolled a 12, so he fails. He's under your control.
Yep. Thank you. That's right. You did write in a kind of something to make it not that or make it a benefit. So yep, I like that. Excellent.
It gives the thievy quality to the monsters.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I mean that's so classically Hag too. She gets a hair
Absolutely,
outdoors and
And
she's got some power over you.
I raise my hand towards him. Come here, my dear. You have nothing to fear. And just one finger kind of motion or him to comes towards me.
Kind of a drunkard's walk. Yeah, he's got that limited, kind of dumb intelligence.
Answer their questions, my pet. They'll help you, I bet. I say as I caress the side of his face with my hands, rubbing some of that black blood on him. It means you guys ask the questions because it sucks to have to rhyme. I'll try to think of stuff.
Yeah, interrogate him, but only in rhymes.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be so amazing, though.
But as a trained interrogator, personally, I still would find that very hard and too challenging. So. All right, so we got him for 20 minutes. Let's see here.
Question is, do we actually speak the language that he's speaking?
He's speaking. Yeah, I would say you guys all speak like the common tongue of humans and stuff. Like, you gotta tempt them and bait them.
Excellent.
How are you going to offer those fiendish deals if you don't? Well, we're waiting.
Yeah, I don't. Let's see. What do we ask this guy?
Actually, I was going to ask that as well before we were doing anything. Is are we on a specific mission or just go to place?
The mission was essentially find out if there truly is a kind of a new chaos god who is trying to steal influence away from your Dark Master has a new Chaos God entered this world, this realm. And you found evidence that, yes, that's true, but you didn't get much in specifics.
Okay, and if that's the case, then so last session when I painted the town red, did escape?
Oh,
As far
no,
as we know?
as far as you know, no one escaped. No, you guys, you did it at night. There was like 6 folks that session, so they had it covered.
And I would suggest asking this guy who he thinks burned the village down, or the village, because no one
Exactly.
got out from us.
You probably.
No, it's not super helpful.
Well, I mean, it means that he still knows who we like. Looking at us, he realizes that we're monsters. He's just under the hag's command, so that's good to know too.
He starts going. The prophet said it would happen. Said monsters would do this.
The prophet, you say? Who are they?
Says the prophet from the temple. We feed him, and he tells us the future. They are all dark omens.
Dark almonds? Does sound good.
The prophet is where? You could take us there?
I could take you there.
Any horses in town? All right.
We would have probably eaten them by this point.
Less than a 2-horse town.
Yeah,
20 probably
you're
is
asking who got away. Some horses got away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
There you go.
We'll go hunt them down too.
You have some lively cows who are very afraid of you. Also, yeah, if there were available horses, yeah, good luck, getting them to agree to let you on them.
Yeah, none of us.
Also, Eddie isn't speaking because his ghost is currently possessing a panther.
Yeah.
Hey, excuse me, a what?
You heard me.
Yeah, panther. So you just go.
Why is it just-
meow, 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 meow.
It understands us though, so you can talk to it.
Yeah, but Eddie is limited by his host's vocal cords.
We go take prophet, yes. Get him like this one.
All right.
What
Yeah,
did
and
this prophet say? Tell us or you won't be okay.
the prophet said, "My village would die in fire." As he said, many villages have died in fire. So many names I'd never heard. He said the sky would fall on the great city Punjar. He said that all humanity would be enslaved. He said that the dwarves would be lost in the dark and afraid of the earth. He said that a god would conquer this world. It's God.
What's it take for or the name I see is Eddie. What's it take for him to possess something? What he has to roll for? Like, I assume he has to roll for it, but like.
Yeah. You want to explain it, Eddie?
Actually, it seems like how we've got it written right now is you can get in the body pretty easy, but it's making it do combat type stuff. But what we had was that it was basically roll a d20 to get in the body. The difficulty was 10 plus the creature's hit die. They have to have died within 24 hours. The other party members can't have already eaten it up, like the Wendigo.
Yeah.
So the Panther's dead.
And it's
Yeah.
got to be
I'm
dead.
sorry, right.
Correct. Yeah, but it's like he's kind of a fresh corpse. Basically, as time goes on, it'll he can't be healed whatsoever. So that's kind of how we engineered. Like it's a dead mechanic. There's no way to heal him.
And if
Okay.
he's not in a corpse, he is very,
We should-
very easily killed. But he can get out of a corpse and do, ghost shit, go through walls probably, and, things like that. But very easy to die, for reals.
I was just about to, it's a bit utilitarian, but I was almost about to pitch, possessing one of the goblins. I forgot it needed to be dead. Then I really thought, that doesn't actually really matter to me if
that
one of them
is-
got.
I'm not trying to steal your thunder there, Calvin, but that's not a unique idea. People have proposed that before.
Oh, man.
Just kill one of the goblins.
And you're an emergency backup source for me if I get thrown out of a body and one of your guys is laying around dead.
You know, and the Fiend can also have people sacrifice hit points to empower his spells. So people have sacrificed goblins to like empower a spell.
Yeah.
So
It's totally happened in games too.
yeah.
Thinking like, oh, is this the problem if he possesses the panther that we also have a panther? No, if it's dead, it's
And so I say, oh, ask him where he came from.
I'll say the guy. I mean, he answers all of your questions. He's originally from this village, but he went off to try to become a priest. Found this prophet, not what he intended, but started listening. But wasn't allowed to see the prophet. Was only allowed to see the monks that took care of the prophet. And then he finally got to see the prophet, and all these horrible things were said. And he came running back to his hometown, fearing the worst, hoping to prevent a fire that would, or some kind of death that would kill everyone. Prophets always very non-specific when you need the specifics, and it was too late. But of course, he knows where the prophet is. He kind of gives these vague directions. I mean, he's trying, but he's in the possessed state. He basically has the intelligence of a drunkard. So it's not great directions, and you've got you get all your questions, and you got like 10 more minutes of this guy answering questions. It's going to take longer than that, obviously, to arrive at this prophet, though.
Yeah. So we got to. Did we find a map in the town by chance?
No, they don't have maps. You think they have map money here?
Hey! I was just checking. You never know. Shit.
Harley's been talking.
We need to ask for directions. Sorry, go ahead, Calvin.
Harley's been talking. I want to have the two goblins have been very clumsily 360 frisking him, trying to grab things off of him.
Oh yeah, he's got a roll a percentile.
On the dice, I didn't have that.
All right, I'll roll a percentile, or someone else roll a percentile.
Go ahead.
You'll get him for next time.
Percentile.
I got it. I can go and do it.
Do it.
31.
11. I'll go with the ends.
Okay, all right. Quick. He had a dagger and some flint and steel, and let's see, and he had like 6 candles on him. Probably candles they use their acolyte business.
So, John, you were saying though that we should see if we can just get him to scroll something down for us.
Yeah, we've got to, because unfortunately we don't have a map and we don't have time for him to lead us there. I mean, I could try to possess him again, but it's chances are it's not going to be as good as I rolled. I rolled really well.
I mean, you find something that he can write with. You find like
just a stick in the dirt.
Stick in the dirt, and he kind of draws some things. And you think you have like, okay, follow this road, go this way, and he kind of drew some trees over here, and you think that's supposed to, and he says, you tell him, say what it is as you're drawing it. He tries to, and there's like supposed to be some small temple up on a hill.
And fairly nearby.
Yeah, let's say close enough. A few days travel.
Ah, okay.
But for the sake of not making what I hope to be a one session thing into multiple sessions, you guys travel for a few days.
All right.
You get there, and you find this temple. It is kind of like there's like a small hut on the outside of this temple. It's kind of like a Roman style temple at like the top of the hill of some hill, and there's like dottings of trees, but they seem to try to clear them here. And there's no guards or anything. There's just like a couple huts around here. And
all right. What time of day is it? Or is it night?
You guys, do you guys travel at night or the day?
We'll travel at night. We're months.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's night.
Can we see it? Can everyone
can. Yeah.
More or less.
Yeah. The Dybbuk is the only one, Eddie's character, limited by his corpse's vision. I mean, but he's a freaking panther. He can smell his way through.
As I also admit, if we had hurt this guy and merely threatened him, would he have just ran back to the temple anyway?
Now you'll. Oh yeah, what'd you guys do with him in the end? We just kind of left that undefined.
As well,
As the spell, as the power's about to run out, I will cut his throat and rip out some of his teeth.
All right. Yeah, for
So
safekeeping.
you do one before the other.
Yeah, that's
super
spell
cool.
components.
Yeah, delicious flesh.
All right. Well, you get here. Let's say it's you have like a couple hours before dawn.
Nice.
While traveling at night, can we see the size of this place? Torches or lights or anything? It's on a hill. It's
You do
I
not
guess, right?
see. Yeah, you do not see any lights on right now. But yeah, picture that kind of standard-ish like Roman temple that is just like a rectangle with one room, some columns, but it's an enclosed rectangle and just columns keeping it up.
I used to know what those were called back at art school, but I can only think of the Parthenon. There's a word for that kind of building. When
I was a little bit closer to when I might have taken a class that covered that, I could probably have told you the name, but it's been too long.
You mean you don't remember stuff from school? Jeez. Okay. There's no guards or any activity?
No. You didn't ask him about any of that, this guy, either.
No.
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
The only one that might be able to is actually the hag anyway. I don't know if any of the rest of us are smart enough maybe to... Well, that's not true.
Say.
Well, if you guys don't see anything, I'll say it's a good opportunity if someone could sneak silently.
There you go.
Exactly.
The goblin zoos are the best for that.
I'm hearing you. Do we see anybody else on the road or anyone going into or out of the temple?
You would have passed by a couple of other towns. Like most towns kind of in a, if you think of like typical medieval fantasy, or actual medieval life, it would have been like most towns are like a day or two apart from each other, actual travel time. So you've passed by something, but you've kept your distance. You haven't had the interest in them.
Cool.
Let's say no, you haven't seen. You think you saw someone maybe, and when you guys were about to fall asleep and they were like waking up, you think you saw the smoke from a camp nearby where someone might have been coming to or from here. You're uncertain.
But yeah,
right.
Our goblins sneaking.
All right, roll a d20.
Let's try and get within. Let's see.
Yeah, and add your agility modifier.
Okay, that's a 7. It's not great.
Well, we aren't looking for it. It says in here, base DC is 10 for moving along things like a stone surface. Softer surfaces like a moss-covered floor or rock are only DC 5. So the DCs don't go super high in this kind of game. So 7 is not horrible. It's not great, but it's not horrible. You were able to get up to like, where you tell me where you're trying to get to.
Well, assuming the building has a front, I only want to get within. The phrase isn't earshot. I don't know to hear if people are moving about and see if anyone goes in. Yeah, people should be waking up.
There is like a hut on your way up there. I mean, you could like circle around so that you don't get near it at all. You kind of hear some snoring from inside the hut. Getting up there, you don't really hear anything coming from the inside, and you don't see any extra lights that you didn't see before. No lights still.
The hut that's on the way to the temple?
Yeah.
Okay. 20 feet away? 50 feet away?
Somewhere in there. A respectful distance away to not encroach upon the temple space, but clearly be someone that, for people who are staying here at the temple.
Oh, I see. Windows?
No, it is an open doorway with kind of just like well, not really open. It's got like a hide pelt kind of covering the entrance, but no windows. Yeah, it's very basic.
Oh, are the walls thin enough to hear through?
Yeah, and you can hear some snoring on the inside.
Snoring. Keep moving past it then. Not really.
Okay.
They're like we're in like not the woods, but I'm picturing kind of a low brush we have here in Texas kind of thing. So like there is cover. I'm not just walking up the road, right?
A lot of it has been cleared away, but there's like some nearby berry bushes and things like that.
Okay, enough to hide some goblins.
Sure.
All right.
And Eddie, is your panther
Yeah,
trying to peek on anything while the goblins are doing anything, or just backing him up?
Just backing him up. I'm more in case somebody comes up on him. I'll try and cut around and do the flanking maneuver and help him out.
Okay.
None of the goblins have any. Let's see. Extra abilities, right? There's nothing like useful, like talking to each other or any familiar type abilities, is there? They are just goblins.
They're goblins. They're good at distracting. You can find poison, just like find the right horrible mushrooms and stuff. Like, you have no telepathic inter-goblin hive mind.
Right. Nothing like that. No hive abilities or hive mentality. Okay. Yeah, we're both gonna keep going.
All right.
The temple.
Yeah, you get up to
the roll again.
No, good. You get up to the opening of the temple. You don't there's like a few very dim lights kind of deep in there, thin small candles. You're familiar with them. You took some off of that acolyte. And you see just kind of the outline of a great big statue at the far end of the temple. Or at least you think it's a great big statue. It's way too big to be of a man.
Right, then rather than going in, I want to do a quick look around the buildings. I don't know if they have doors on these buildings.
Just the one big Roman-style front entrance.
Okay, nice. And I'm going to head back to the little hut.
Okay.
See, I don't know what else.
Inside?
What's else? Yeah, sure. If they're still sleeping.
All right, yeah. So look inside. Looks to be very sparse. Take a little peek. Move that hide pelt to the side with one of your goblins or both, and they're, I don't know, maybe it's like head on top of head, like kids looking through a doorway in a movie.
Yeah.
There's like an old man. Sleeping. He's got another pelt over him to keep him warm in the night. It looks to be like a very kind of like sparse. Everything here is made from probably something that came from within a few miles of this place. The old man, though he's sleeping, he has like white gauze over his eyes, or like bandages.
Only one man. That's it.
Just one man. I know. You did all that sneaking and caution for just one man, one old man.
Decide how violent these goblins are.
What's the alignment say on the character sheet?
It does say chaotic. It does say occupation. So, like, the resume.
I mean, you could always poke him a few times with some blades and tie him up, potentially, and then bring him back to us.
I'm carrying home.
I'll say make a vile check. So roll a d20 and try to roll equal or under your vile score. So you're complaining about not having a bow.
That's a nat 20.
All right. Well, no, you didn't. No, that's his worst.
Not the time to roll
any other time. No, you have pebbles. You could throw a pebble at him.
Well, I do have darts on me.
Oh, okay. Well, you have darts. You can throw a dart at him.
I would just walk up. Okay, the two goblins argue about whether it's a good idea, but one goes up and tries to go for the coup de knife.
One is like, as you guys are kind of like quietly arguing, and one starts walking over, you kind of, yes, hello, and you kind of see his head raises up, but his eyes are covered. He doesn't like try to remove the bandage.
Doesn't sound like he has a weapon, or he's defensive. Should I just roll to attack then? One is.
That's up to you.
I'm rolling to attack.
All right.
That is a 16.
Yes. With your dagger? Okay. What's your damage?
1.
1. Okay. Like he screams.
Multiple attacks. Let's see.
Yeah, both your goblins can attack. You can make as many attacks as you have goblins.
All right, they're cowardly and shitty, so the second goblin just hangs back with his knife.
All right.
Ooh.
How did it go? Did that hurt? I mean, if he's just an old town, I'd actually kill him.
I rolled his hit points. I rolled the d4. He has more than 1 hit point, though. But he screams, why? Why? I am just the caretaker here. I have nothing. You bandits. He seems to be, like, looking higher than you are, like, expecting, a tall bandit or something.
Yeah.
He's clearly, like, he's probably blind underneath the bandages, is what you're thinking now. He says, take what I have, but leave me. Oh, yeah, Ian, everybody hears the old man scream.
Okay.
Maybe not the individual words, but yeah, you guys all know the goblins they're up to their shanking tendencies.
Yeah, start gushing my way up there.
Oh yeah, it's like shoving your fist in a jar of mayonnaise as you travel up the hill and into that open doorway of the hut.
If I have any action left, the second goblin will start, other than helping, rooting around the hut to see if he actually, at the mention of take what I have, looking for what he has.
Yeah, you find you're rooting. Well, I'll say people start rooting around. John, what about you? What's Rita doing?
Rita's standing back and watching, just taking this all in, trying to think of what to say, because I imagine she actually has a little bit of difficulty thinking of everything in rhymes too. Yeah. Do I hear any of this commotion that happens?
Yeah, sure do.
I'll go ahead and move in closer then, a little bit closer, like cautiously. I'm going to sneak up to. Let me go ahead and roll. 17 actually, so pretty damn good.
Yes, quiet as the night. You move and it's it's like you're moving silently, like a little nasty ballerina.
Oh, that's wicked.
And the panther, for a split second, you spot roaming around the temple, the outsides of it a little bit.
I feel like the goblins did a good job scouting the area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think so.
Okay.
But yeah, this old man, you guys kind of like appear in the door. Well, at least Ian's character kind of appears more in the entryway here.
Mm-hmm.
The old man gives he kind of gives an indication that he hears you, but he's like looking too high. He's not looking low enough to see you. Like, this guy is clearly a blind man.
He's blind, yeah.
Yeah, with gauze wrapped around his eyes. And he goes, please stop. Calvin, your other goblin is looking around. He's finding like kind of the, he's, like jerky here, a basket with berries, just like very, like nothing of real value, things of just like, hey, a blind monk who lives next to a temple in the middle of, of just nature, who probably had like one acolyte, who, whatever happened to that guy. That, that's the quality of life that he has.
Attacking goblin has any action, has another go at action now. He's probably going to try and muffle his voice so he's not screaming anymore.
All right.
Oh.
Since the rest of the party's here, you may as well just do that.
Yeah. You can do. You shove your hand over.
That's all.
Yeah, you shove a hand over your mouth. You quiet him. He's kind of noises. But if you stop, he's kind of like clutching his stab wound, but not really. He's not being super duper compliant because he's in pain, but he's not actively resisting at the same time either.
Let's see.
Goblin, the rooting around goblin is. I have to say if we're at the wrong temple.
Say up near the temple where the panther is, Eddie, you kind of hear, a voice and just kind of a like deep, come in. Come.
Oh, I totally go in. I'm not one to ignore a good disembodied voice.
Oh yeah, I mean, that feels like so familiar. Yeah, it's a panther walking into this temple alone. Looks awesome. And it is, yeah. There's this gigantic statue of like a 14-foot tall, just like morbidly obese figure at the end of the temple, and you have the feeling that it is what's speaking to you.
And I will growl out a wonderful greeting to him.
And is he the only one that that heard the statue speaking?
Yeah, he's the only one up near the temple. You guys are hanging out
Okay.
with the little caretaker guy down here.
Goblins are upset there's nothing here, so you guys take that as you will. They're like arguing with each other at this point. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who are you going to take it out on, though?
This is more for the rest of the party. Does he have anything? Can I read? Wait.
I kind of feel like goblins are not good schoolboys, so I feel like the hag could read and the fiend could probably read, but I don't think the goblins can.
Oh, it's eating the jerky anyway.
I don't know. Maybe like the chaotic alignment language. You know, they're like, oh yeah, we know that. That's like stop signs and stuff to us. We just know it innately.
So they've got this guy held down, and he's been stabbed already.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so so my character, he actually just walks up at that point in time, the Grindel Spite, and he takes his dagger out of the inside of himself, and he just puts it down into the middle of this guy's stomach.
All right.
Just because his wriggling around is uncomfortable.
It's an easy attack roll, but make an attack roll and show me some, probably show me damage. You know.
All right, I got a 9.
Yeah, I'll say. I mean, he's like actively being held down. I'll say even a 9 hits.
And okay, 4 points of damage.
All right. Well, that's how.
Actually,
much
no, I take that back. 3 points of damage.
That's how much he had left.
Okay.
He stops resisting for all the obvious reasons, and you have dedicated another soul, I guess, to yourself.
And I look at both of the goblins. I say, "Come, let's go."
Up near the temple. Oh, go ahead.
And we take off.
All right.
Yeah.
The hag will come in at that point once he sees that, or she sees that happen. Excuse me, and too much time that took. Let's have a look, and she'll start looking around this place. Is there anything of interest?
Give me either a luck check, or vile check, trying to go under, or equal to, or an intelligence check to try to, find the smart thing to look for, and that'll be real high.
Well, they're actually both even, but I'll roll. Yeah, actually, my vial's pretty good. It's 14, so I'm gonna try to roll under my vial. Yeah, got a 9 under 14.
Okay. You find a small book that seems to be, in a few different handwritings and they each will be like recording this for the priest of the corpulent prophet, and they're all like just the worst kind of prophecies for humanity, and you're like, oh, this is the good stuff probably. Oh, I love this, but there is a kind of consistent through line of humanity's downfall, and a lot of the different prophecies, not all, but a lot of them relate to various giants conquering humanity or defeating them in one way or another.
The giants thrive. How will we survive? And I point at the book as I'm saying this. Trying to share the information as best I can.
That's pretty good, John. I like it.
You realize most everyone else has kind of already left. You're like, I did that for nothing.
Okay, well, I'll go follow them then.
Colin picks up the book anyway.
All right. One goblin was still there. Well, someone was paying attention. Sorry. All right.
You guys chew on it. With them.
Tastes like knowledge. You guys get up there. And for a moment before you getting up there, there's something of a conversation happening. The gigantic statue is conversing kind of with this panther and going, "I can smell your power. I can smell that within you, cat. Oh, you are a part of a prophecy. You were a part of a prophecy. But yours is a place you will find that death is eternal."
I nod knowingly. In agreement.
We're hearing no.
Yeah, and you guys are scampering up there and kind of coming at the just a moment later and going, "I smell the power on all of you. You and you like it's a statue. You don't see it moving, but you kind of like and it's the sound is kind of coming. You're not sure if it's coming from the statue and echoing all around you or if you kind of hear it in your heads. And the stone statue, you guys kind of get a little bit better of a look at it and hear, and now that the rest of your, it's as I previously described, big, massive, like morbidly obese man is what it kind of looks like. But it kind of it starts lifting itself up off the ground, and stone starts crumbling from it, revealing like this ashy skin underneath of this massive, just corpulent creature of a man, and crawling towards you. It's fat belly dragging on the earth. And let's roll initiative.
All right.
Waiting for that.
Okay, that's not bad.
2, 3. Sorry.
Don't know if that's easier for you or not. Stuff, and we all put it in the chat, though.
All right, and there you guys go. All right, nice. Eddie, you're first.
Oh no! Is this big enough that I can try and get around him? I'm thinking maybe as the stone guy dragging himself along, he may not have much like reach if I get behind him.
Yeah, no, it was like right against the back wall, so no. Maybe after, if you were after his initiative, yeah, probably.
But if I'm after his initiative, that means he's already got to smack me a couple of times.
Quite possibly. But you're first, so what are you going to do?
I'm going for it with a 13 bite and a 3 claw.
All right. Well, the 13 will work.
Okay. With a 13, I can potentially do 3 damage.
All right. 3 damage it is. Ian.
I think I might be the tank of the group right now, too.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
So I, run as fast as my little goopy legs will let me to get sort of away from this creature, but stay within like 20 feet of it as it's moving forward. And at that point, like I start to cry, like, and I just rolled for casting a spell, so I start to wail and cry right there, like, what? And like this big bloody tear rolls down my face and boils away into like a little crystal, and I take it and I fling this crystal at the this corpulent thing crawling at us, and I'm casting Hellfire.
All right.
So, let's see. Ooh, okay, that's not too bad. What's my 4? All right, so Hellfire, I got a 14, so that is a ball of fire strikes one target within 30 feet of me for 1d7 plus my character level points of damage. Is that my 7? Where's my 7? Yeah, wait. There you go. Okay, not much. 3 points of damage. All
right.
And then it has, and then it's got, if it gets burned, they have to make a DC 11 plus my character level fort save or suffer half damage on the following round.
It makes it.
Okay. All right. I think that's my turn then.
Mm-hmm. John?
Okay, I am going to cast a spell Hex. Let's see how it manifests. 2. So you hear the caterwauling of 1,000 cats echoes throughout the air. Okay, let's see if
That's good.
this works. Oh, nat 20. Nice.
Nice.
Okay, so 25. So let's select 2 targets. One target rolls 1d plus their luck modifier and fumble table after their next attack. Regardless of the result, the other target rolls 1d12 plus bile modifier on their crit table. So I'm going to give Eddie will get the crit, and of course, the thing I'm targeting will get the fumble.
All right.
So one target will roll after their next action. So basically, he's going to fumble. It sounds like they still get the results of the attack. Yeah, regardless of the results. And Eddie will get a crit no matter what, as long as he hits.
All right.
Sweet.
Okay, Eddie, is the creature's turn.
And let's say a bunch of black cats walk actually through there as well, real quick, and then run off, scamper off.
All right, Eddie, it's the creature's turn. What is your AC? Because, of course, it's attacking you.
12.
12. Okay, I rolled a 12 exactly. It's got some odds.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. You take 5 points of damage, but I also have to fumble. Let's see. There's my D12. And I guess playtesting feedback. The creature doesn't have a vile modifier, so I'm guessing it's your vile modifier.
I would say since it doesn't have a luck modifier, because it'd be its luck modifier and then Eddie's vile modifier for the fumble. So yeah, if it has a luck, if it doesn't, it just doesn't. It just rolls a d12.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. It is going to. Let me see. Oh, I was reading the wrong result. The stone that it's trying to break off of it is kind of clogging up, and it looks like it is like going to be unable to move for a short while.
Nice.
All right, and Calvin, your turn.
An attack is coming on the ground.
Yeah, it is like crawling on its fat belly and swiping at y'all.
Oh, detailed are the, say, grapple mechanics or whatever it is in this game. If I wanted to run around on top of it.
So the size of you're like 3 feet tall, and this thing looked like it was like 12 or 14 feet tall. I mean, the grapple mechanics are basically like opposed strength rolls, and I don't have strength because I'm a NPC. I use my fortitude save instead, or my attack roll. It's kind of judge's discretion, or attack roll modifier. But it would get like a bonus because it's literally 4 times your size. Nothing is impossible, and there's 2 of you. You get 2 rolls, and I only get 1. But
okay,
that's kind of the breakdown.
The goblins are going to try and run around either side of them, and that's funny.
But you got really quiet. Like you were just.
Goblins are going to try and. Oh?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think I just flipped out for a second. Is the temple big enough for the goblins to run around either side of them, flanking like?
Yes.
That's what they want to do.
All right.
And they're each want to attack the ankles if I could get to them. I know they're probably dragging behind.
Yeah, they are. So are you attacking or grappling?
Attacking.
All right. So we're cutting the Achilles tendon and all that.
Yeah, presumably where you can't hit from.
Mm. You just kick like a big baby.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, give me some attack rolls.
11 and 9.
All right. 11 will hit. I mean, this is a big creature. It's got a lot of. Get the idea that it's probably got a lot of HP, but easy to hit.
2.
All right. 2 more damage. All right. It's the bottom of the round. But Eddie, before we get back up to the top, you guys feel the earth start to crack and crumble underneath all of you here in the temple with this thing's massive weight, and the ground literally starts falling down beneath you guys. So let's everyone make reflex saves. And Calvin, you'll make too, because you got 2 goblins. So, but Eddie, you get to hang on to that auto crit because it's not your next attack quite yet.
I got a 15.
Okay. 10 and 12. Well, actually, wait. Is there a goblin thing in there?
You have a bonus on there. I don't know if it may be +0.
If you look under your agility, you'll have under reflex, whatever the bonus is there.
I see that one. I was just thinking there might be anything else that's... Not really. Okay.
All right, Ian, you need to make reflex save. The ground is crumbling beneath your feet.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Horrible creature's too big and fat and heavy.
Ooh, I got a 16.
All right.
Oh, nice. We're actually rolling fairly well so far.
Yeah. And Eddie, I didn't hear what you got.
18 for Panthers.
Oh, sheesh. You guys are all pretty good. So the ground does indeed start crumbling beneath your feet. The goblins take a bit more of a tumble than everybody else, but this hill seems to be entirely hollow. You guys all start either riding down on maybe the goblins are hanging onto the ankles actually of this giant thing. The rest of you are kind of like sliding down the sides for hundreds of feet. The goblins are each going to take a little bit of damage. I don't know how much health they have, so we'll. But one of them takes 2 points of damage, and the other takes 3 points.
Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
It knocks them both down to...
Down to what?
Each. They are both down to 2 now.
Okay.
What? 4, 5. I assume that's one has one. I don't know.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, 1's hit points for the first one, and the other's hit points for the second.
And 2.
Don't worry, the fiend could maybe heal you. Just gotta owe him a favor.
Yeah, no. I
pay a price.
If there was ever a cleric who's going to charge for healing, it's the fiend.
Oh.
Because the fiend is essentially he can do the healing. He's your closest thing to a clerical equivalent.
There's no way one goblin wouldn't roll their agility to try and break their fall with the other.
Oh, dude, if you want to do that, absolutely. You can say that one goblin absorbs all of the damage.
Yeah, they try to do that.
One jumps on the head of the other and rides him into the ground.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, your choice then of whichever one dies. The other one escapes unscathed.
That leaves one with 4 and the other with 1.
Oh, okay. All right. Hey, yeah.
So is that actually in the rules in terms of
no,
how goblins take damage?
So. That just sounded good. So I said,
it's not, but it might be something we put in there, actually.
Well, I mean,
like that.
Yeah, it's like stacking damage. You just roll through goblins until you wind up with... You can't distribute it necessarily across them.
Well, I'm thinking maybe in one-offs like that, like if it's a trap or something, you could potentially. I don't know. It's something to think on, though. That was really fun.
There's on the sheet for them. There is another space for at least 1 to 2 paragraphs of additional skills. You can put push them in the way as a new skill.
Push them in the way. I like that actually. That
might be kind of fun. Maybe you don't have to do it, but you can.
Yeah. But anyway, you guys all fall hundreds of feet down to the bottom. And looking up, there seems to be, this very kind of haphazard. You guys are kind of like in a empty kind of vertical shaft that is wide, very wide, like 100 feet across that is underneath this hill. And the prophet down here does not seem to be moving right now. It is, this creature seems to be unmoving, but almost like it is speaking in its sleep. And you can hear these just little bits of horrible things that it is saying. And, you can see maybe, kind of like, I think we could try climbing out over there, or, that looks a little hard, or you see okay, well, those rocks crumbled in kind of a nice way. We could probably maybe kind of walk up that passage. You see some passages where you can get out, but you have fallen hundreds of feet down into the earth.
Okay. Underground we are. Well, here we are. Well, that I guess technically rhymes. That's kind of cheating.
You've been doing a good job, John.
Underground we are, but we've gone so far. That's better.
All right.
And looking around, you said that it's there might be a few places that we can test basically to try to get out. Was there anything that goes deeper into the ground?
A lot of rocks and stuff have fallen. You have fallen at the bottom of this place. You guys can all see in the dark. So you think you can see a few shafts that go, you're not sure if that's just a tiny little crack or if that's truly a shaft that kind of goes off more horizontally.
Okay. So seeing that. Go ahead, John.
Quick question. Did the statue fall down here with us?
Yes, it's absolutely with you. It's covered by some rocks, but you don't think it's dead because, hey, there's like one goblin that landed on its tummy or whatever, and and it can see like its mouth slowly moving, and just like these like kind of just ominous whispers, difficult to make out, but no good feelings arise.
Move we should. It's up to no good. I point at the statue. How many exits are there total?
Really, there's the main one, which is crawl up where you fell through, and you think from here you might find more if you start like actually moving around and trying to go up, but you think you can see kind of like maybe one passage that goes off.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm kind of with you, Eddie, so maybe we'll attack it while it's hindered. I'm okay with that, so I'll put a sling in my, or a rock in my sling. I mean, there's plenty to grab.
I run off of it because this thing just fell really far and I feel like it should be dead. So I like start to run away and climb up some of these rocks to see if I can find something to squeeze into to get away from this thing.
As you guys start, all right, you guys are throwing rocks. The goblins are definitely still stabbing, as I see. All of the wounds you start making on it, it is the words being whispered out of its mouth start manifesting as like almost like a vapor at first, but then kind of coalescing into a form of these like tentacles that start coming and like crawling out of its mouth, slapping its wounds, closing them, and just growing longer and longer and trying to slap their way towards each of you.
It cannot be beat. We must retreat. I point up and I start trying to climb out of this frickin' place. Hello? Did I come through?
You came through.
Okay.
They're in amazement of your rap skills.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so I'm, in the
well done, Eddie.
The other rubble that's down here, right? Seeing if is there any place that I can like sniff out a one of these side chambers or anything like that. Like as I'm going around, you can see me like pushing my little fleshy arm up to openings between boulders and things like that, and it like squeezes in like a pseudopod and pulls back out because I don't have any bones or anything like that. So it's like I can feel inside these areas.
Oh, absolutely. I get you. Absolutely. Yeah. You start trying to go around and find another. You're crawling. You think you find one spot. There's some kind of like alcove up above that you guys can climb a little crawler into, and like maybe something from the earth. You really have no discernible reason as to why this would happen yet. But like a torso slides out of there. It's like covered in some kind of slimy mucus that just splats on the floor next to you.
Oh God.
Yuck.
But now there's like a hole where it is.
It came out of like a crevice. Yeah.
Yeah. I like squeeze myself down into the crevice to see if it goes anywhere from there.
Yeah. It's more of a climb up a little bit.
Okay.
You look in, and there looks to be the bottom half of a person. They you look at have like, actually the torso came with most of very similar to like acolyte robes. Then you're like, this blind guy, what was he up to? What was up with this prophet a little bit? But you see there's this like tiny little, very kind of tentacled demon crawling out of the bottom of this torso, just coming out of the intestines that didn't go with the top half.
Oh, geez.
Talk to it. You speak its language.
Yeah, exactly. Like I look at it and I say, hello?
It's for the nameless god, not yours. It shall take this world. And we can, it's going to like take a quick attack on you. We probably don't need an initiative for it. It'll hit you with a 17 though.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah. For a rock and roll 2 points of damage.
All right. That's still not a tier.
Yeah. Why don't you give me something back to it though?
Yeah, exactly. So and how big, like whenever you say it's a little tiny, how big does this mean that it is? Like, is it like 6 inches tall or something?
Yeah, it's like a foot tall. Like
foot tall.
It's as wide. It's like a ball of, it's kind of reminds you of just like like kind of like a sea anemone, a slightly humanoid sea anemone crawling out of the bottom half of a torso.
Okay.
And that's about as wide as it is.
That's pretty creepy. So at that point in time, seeing this thing, right, it scares my character, the Grindel Spite. He reaches in and just slashes with his dagger down at this creature, and does not hit with a 4.
All right.
And so I fall backwards out of this hole, like as I'd make that slash, and then I move away from it and fall backwards out of the hole in the wall.
All right. It's the little baby demon thing, whatever you want to call it. It is a slow crawler, but it is coming.
Mm. And I scream to everybody, oh, it says it's from the Nameless God. And I look at it, and then I go ahead and I cast another attempt of Hellfire on it.
All right.
And that's not going to do it. That was a failure. And I continue to crawl backwards away from the hole, and I'm pointing for everybody at this little demon.
So, to clarify, Stefan, we started to climb up, correct?
A little bit. I mean, you guys have.
Okay. Oh, okay. It was just a little bit. Okay.
I think you did.
Go vertical as well. Like a moment, if
there's kind of you can kind of more choose to literally climb and just try to go straight up would be, unless you have clever things like difficult strength checks just to go straight up. But there's kind of a more circuitous route around the exterior of, just imagine like a vertical tunnel shaft that you can kind of go through the rubble of and try to go up. So it's hard climb or somewhat longer uphill walk.
Yeah, I'd say the longer uphill walk makes more sense.
That's about all I can do. You loose rubble down and try and drop it onto this guy, but I don't really see a way of doing that.
All right. And Eddie, what is Panther Man? Or not really Panther Man.
Yeah, I'm going to pop him. I got that auto crit burning a hole in my pocket.
All right. Pop this little demon sea anemone baby.
All right. I got 5 on my D6.
5 on your... Oh, and you're on the... Are you on undead or demons?
Undead.
I thought so. Okay. 5.
Well, no, you roll a D12 for your crit because of the spell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's enhanced. Watch him roll lower now. So what do you get on your D12 for the crit, Eddie?
Oh, me.
Yeah. You got a D12 for it.
Damage, not power. Crit, people.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, good.
Let me see. Where'd my dice roller go? On a D12, I have a 6.
Okay. You cut this little sea anemone baby creature open, and the wound blackens and just immediately starts bubbling with infection. And it just instantly dies from that.
Beautiful.
And it the bubbling infection wound from your claws just starts just boil like a fast boil on the top of a pot on the stove, going over its entire body.
Ooh. It said it was from the Nameless God. That's the Dark One, isn't it?
I don't know. You never heard of no Nameless God. No name you ever heard of.
Does our God have a name, by the way?
Gods are frauds.
I mean, yes, you haven't chosen your Dark Lord. We can go with...
the Dark Master.
Yeah, the Dark Master. I have written a starting adventure that is a legally distinct the end of Lord of the Rings, and that was just the Dark Lord.
Sure.
So
Dark Lord, I think our Dark Lord is just Beatty.
Oh, okay.
Not Beatty. The whole just Beatty.
All right, just Beatty.
Just Beatty.
Dark Marshal, just Beatty.
Beatty is someone we know, Calvin. He made a Weird West version of DCC.
Yeah.
Which
good dude.
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. He did a really good job with that.
John's not biased at all. He didn't help out whatsoever.
No, I didn't do anything with that. Honestly, did very, very little with it. So. All right. Yeah, we'll continue. I'm gonna send my eye, like, as I imagine we're kind of climbing through this rubble, like going through whatever kind of paths we can. I pluck out my eye again and whisper something into it, and I'm gonna send it along one of these little tunnels to see if like one of them opens up.
Sure. You do it. Make a vial check. Vial check.
Sure.
Pull around.
Yeah, that sounds appropriate. I missed it by 1. Damn it! Unless somebody wants to spend a vial.
Oh, that's
a point.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yes, I'll spend a point of vial.
Excellent. Yeah, because it can work that way. Eddie, you think that's legit? Everybody think that's legit?
I mean, you said you can spend it on other people's rolls, right?
Yeah.
That's totally legit. And that's how it currently reads. I didn't ever.
Yeah, and I think that makes it more utilizable as well. Like it makes it a little bit better, because at first it's like, it's not as good as luck unless you're fighting player characters. Now it's a little better. So thank you, Ian. Appreciate that. So yes, I do suggest succeed because he uses his vial.
And you should. I don't know. You can think about the idea of fleeting vial, perhaps, if people like it.
Yeah, I'm going to consider that too. Eddie and I plan to meet at some point during the long con.
Yeah. So, John, for this, as you're poking around and whatnot, I've like climbed up on you and I'm like sitting right next to your ear and I'm just like whispering to you now. Like it's just nonsense, but that's how I've provided you this point of extra vial in this case.
So and as you do that, the hag, she actually starts nodding. Wise you are. We will go so far. And, so what is her?
You're going to create like a short list of rhymes, aren't you? And you're like R plus R. You put like 2 stars next to it and a heart. Like, I love that one.
Oh yeah, definitely recycling.
All right, but yeah, okay. So then your eye, it flies down one path, and it's like, oh, here's an easy route up. It's kind of like crawling up like a slide, like one of those twisty slides at a park. It's kind of like that. Yeah, so you find one and it's like, oh, that's a little tight, but hey, we'll fit up there. It spies a couple other spots though, where it's like into like crevices, like kind of like these people have like slid down. There's more, men and women in like these acolyte robes that are covered in like some kind of like mucus and have like just bulbous, just like grotesque, like tumorous stomachs is what it looks like, but what's inside there.
Ugh.
You know what made that nasty thing so fat.
Okay. Well, that's not good. Are you okay with me just relaying this information without rhyming?
Yeah, you relay it. Everyone, if you guys want to take that path, you guys can do it. It's a not too difficult agility check to try to get up. And,
All right.
If you want to help each other out in some kind of way, tell me your clever plan.
Yeah. Down we go to avoid our foes, and I'll move along that path. That's the way I want to go. Unless somebody objects.
No.
Okay. So you said agility?
Yeah, and agility. It's like going upwards on a slide. You're using a little bit of a strength, but it's mostly timing when you move your hands and your feet.
Makes perfect sense. I remember doing that as a little kid.
Yeah.
I got a 7.
And I got a 5.
Hopefully it's super easy.
Yeah, maybe I was on top of you and I'm like bracing up against the ceiling while holding on to you, trying to help.
What'd you get, Calvin?
I feel like this would be really easy for 2 goblins, but I also rolled very high, 17 and 15.
All right, I'll say nice. You can help out. Your 2 goblins, they're probably like back to back going up here. I don't know, that seems funny to me. I'll say you can help out either the hag or the little lemur fiend.
How much crawling do I need to do to get to the top and drop a rope?
Or that. Yeah, and you could have totally found a rope back in that village back there. Yeah, you would be able to get up to the top easy and do that. Eddie, what'd you get though?
Nat 20.
Well done, Sex Panther.
Gotta love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's just what I was thinking, Ian.
That's perfect.
All right. Yeah, you drop a rope and you look behind you, and a panther is like holding the rope with his teeth, helping you out.
Yay, I'm a panther again.
And you guys are able to help them up. You guys were, nat 20 especially helps a lot. Get up, kind of you skip past, but you look down and you're like, oh, that would have been a very unsteady kind of rocky bridge that might have fallen as we crawled over it.
I look up at the panther as I walk by, and I say, I hold my hands up and I say, "No fingers." And then one pops up kind of out of it. I say, "Oh, one finger." And then I continue walking from there.
Actually, like a living beanbag would probably make it up a slide like that really easily with that much.
Living beanbag. I love
Yeah,
that.
I mean, it's close, right? Exactly. I feel like I'm sort of amorphous in nature, but typically have just like a little walking form, but like it's just gross constantly, like little flaps of flesh that are like drooling over each other and disappearing again. And there's an eyeball that'll pop up occasionally and then go in, and a little, like a hand puppet mouth that comes out of it.
Am I thinking of an illustration from 3.5? Something Mouther monster?
Gibbering Mouther.
Oh,
That's it,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God,
See,
that's been around since like first edition, though, or so.
No,
That's
there's
horrible.
I remember
I just
that
remember the
picture in the
illustration.
3.5 book. That was a good one. I mean, the way
Yeah.
Ian, you kind of
Great
described it,
drawing.
you remind me of like if there was like a baby Shoggoth.
Yeah, it's sort of like that, right?
I love that. I love that. Yep.
But it's got like hair that pokes out of little armpits that don't have arms attached to them and stuff like that,
Every part of it is a sweat gland.
Yes, exactly. It's always kind of just like, it's clearly never been washed before, so it's all oily.
Yeah, y'all can
I'm
keep.
not familiar with it. Walking boneless swing. Nice.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, you guys get up and you find yourself kind of close to the top of the of where you guys initially fell through. You're getting up there. You find another kind of like a part of a human body. This one still has you see like a pouch hanging on to it. This one is a little bit more slimy though, and you can kind of like, for some reason, maybe not all the slime is the same. This one's got a different tint to it, but it's has like that caustic smell to it.
So like, not having any experience in life, I taste it.
You take 1 point of damage.
I thought so. I look up at the hag. I thought, "I'll burn my tongue."
It's spicy,
Then
but
don't
good.
do something so dumb.
Oh, dude, that's great. Rhyme off of somebody else's line. Exactly.
I'm assuming that'll work. Judges rule.
Definitely.
Okay, good. All right. Man, she actually kind of like swats you on your head, question mark, a little bit when she says that.
All right. Yeah, is there anything on this corpse?
Yeah, there's like a nice little pouch that those humans love to keep by their sides. One of those.
I reach out and grab that, and then poke it open and look inside.
Oh, it's full of that stuff people love that they'll sell you their soul for money. It's got like 30 gold pieces in there.
I just kind of set it up against my chest, and the flesh just kind of closes around it. All right.
Well, we'll continue on. I'm just gonna assume that the little fiend is doing something foolish again and move on.
And you guys look down at the bottom where the corpulent prophet, it has kind of like erupted into tentacles down there, and they are slapping and causing like a high-pitched slapping echo in this vertical tunnel shaft, and it's also slowly coming up.
Is it a trap? Is there a way to tip rocks onto it? Loose boulders and shit?
Yeah, absolutely. There's loads of those around.
Trap, or is it just a...
You can absolutely do that, man.
I'm going to try to do that. What would I roll, though?
Just give me a strength check, and your how good you do equates to the biggest boulder that you are able to push onto it.
They have astonishing create traps +4 d6 damage each, which seems like a lot.
It is.
It's
but
one
you
of your
gotta set 'em
signature
up.
moves.
Yeah, you got to set it exactly. It requires planning on a goblin's part, which is cool too.
Yeah,
Pretty
it's
good damage on purpose.
at discretion of like what kind of trap you're setting, how long the time it takes.
Okay, well, then just pushing rocks is about as much time as I could take, I suppose. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's only a 8.
I mean, you get a good size rock. It's not a boulder by any means, and just an 8. What about your second roll, my man?
Right, 2. 19.
19. Oh, okay. That's a proper boulder. You find one where you just had like the right leverage. I'll say give me a D10 roll for some damage
7.
on this. 7. All right.
That thing is moving towards us. You said the statue.
Yes, it is trying to crawl. The statue is now kind of like erupted into kind of. At first, I described them as like tentacles, but now you're kind of seeing they're like the tendrils of a sea anemone, more like that, and it was bursting, like kind of crawling out of its mouth and bursting out of its wounds from that you guys made and the fall made, and so it
flap around and grab.
Yeah, so that is how it's moving now, and it is coming up slowly.
So it's just whipping around and trying to hoist itself up the hole, straight up.
Yeah. Well, it's coming after y'all too. Doesn't seem to be ignoring y'all.
All right, I'm back.
I'm back too.
So, like, I'm trying to decide what counts as a trap. The only thing I could was using the rope that we used to climb the slide, tying it around a rock that is too heavy for me to move, but might be heavy enough for that thing to move, and throwing the rope over. Just pull on the rope? A trap, right?
Well, right now it's just a rope. What would the rope be doing? It's not coming up the slide. It's coming up the like open passage in the vertical tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. Just using that with me.
Yeah, you can take the rope with you. Yeah.
Attaching that rope to a rock or rubble that is too heavy for me to pull on and loose. It might be enough for that statue to pull the rocks loose onto itself. But I don't know how strong a rope would be. I was thinking of. I'd just be happy pushing rocks on it.
I mean, that might be just the right solution, right? Just throw rocks down with your goblins as they climb up.
It's not the wrong solution.
Yeah.
Listen. Here, I don't know if turning on the camera is going to change it. I had a different adventure that I was originally thinking of running, but it doesn't work for evil creatures. The adventure that I'm running tonight is, it's blurring. It's on these 2 pages of notebook paper. There is no solution. You come up with the solution. I have a situation. You make your solution.
Nice.
I tried, when you write a full adventure, it's hard not to write a story. You often end up writing something of a story, but I prefer the approach to adventure design where it is, here's a situation. I'm not trying to railroad you.
You're merely the arbiter, right?
Yeah, this is what you're presented with. You guys figure it out. Here's a puzzle, and the answer to solving the puzzle is something that sounds good. There's not one right answer, only one way to solve the puzzle. So, you want to throw some rocks down? Sure. You want to figure out something else? Sure. You want to, be like, let's just sacrifice a bunch of HP so that we're nearly dead, and the fiend gets buffed for spells. Sure. Because that's an option.
That is. Yeah. If I had a good spell for this situation, I don't know if I do, though. What do I have?
Yeah, I got a couple that could potentially work, but one of them you really wouldn't like the results. I would, but you wouldn't. Well, one of you wouldn't. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about at this point.
Yeah. No.
All right. Well, let's get back to it. You can't sit here and think forever.
Right. So we keep running up.
Yeah. You keep running up. You're getting close to the top. But there is essentially you could try to just climb up, but in the a hard climb up, hard like the hike up a mountain version of this is blocked by basically a blockade of slime-covered acolyte corpses that seem to have mostly been burst open, but there's that caustic slime covering them, and just it's like sandbags to prevent the river from flooding, but slime-covered corpses. That's the height level. So figure out a way to get over them, or just try to strength climb or other clever plan.
What's the ceiling of the temple look like? Did the whole temple fall in?
No, but you can you looking around, you can kind of see cracks and pillars up there. Structurally, it overall looks damaged. You're gonna have to get a structural engineer in here, guys. Repairs are gonna be bad if the foundation is ruined. And there's the slapping echoes of that monstrosity down below, getting closer and closer.
So I say to everybody, I say, let me try to stop it. And it's like, give me help, and I'm like sitting there with like gnashing mouths on the front of myself, like ready to bite at you. So I can cast a spell, empower it.
I'll give you. I prick the palm of my hand and with one of my long nails and drag it across. I'll give you 1 point.
Okay. Either of y'all, or any of the panther or the goblins?
Come on, Sex Panther. Who cares?
Oh, yeah, right.
That means you can possess a new corpse. You need to possess corpses. Just hogging that frickin' panther.
The panther's really good, though.
What's going on?
Points?
So you can give a hit point to sacrifice to me, and that gives me a +1 on my roll that I make.
Oh,
what I'm doing is trying to cast Paralyze on this thing to see if I can get it.
We're doing the typical cleric thing of who needs to be healed up right now.
No.
But yeah, I'll chip in a hit point or whatever if that's what we're doing.
So like one of the little mouths comes up and like chomp, 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 chomp all down the length of your tail, and there's like all these like slobbery parts of the fur that are all like chomped by the molars of my character.
What a jerk move. Right on the tail.
Cowan.
And so they're like,
you don't have to. You can be
you don't have to. I'm trying to
goblins be arguing over it. They would not do it now.
They would not do it. All right. So you'll like dodge away from me as these mouths try to bite at you. So all right, I'm going to try to roll Paralyze on this thing. All right, that's
a +2. Well, +3, 4.
Where is Paralyze?
I'm getting it pulled up.
So I rolled a 15, which means that my hands and melee weapon are charged with the energy of paralysis. The charge remains for 1d4 character levels per round, which is 3 rounds. And any attack that I deliver during this period does normal damage plus paralysis. If the target fails a will save. Oh gosh, all right. And then if they get paralyzed, they're unable to act for 1d6 plus character level rounds. So possibly not very much. How far is this creature down from us?
It's climbing up at the speed of good pacing. So close that you can use your paralysis.
Perfect. I like leap onto it, with my dagger. I pull it out and I'm holding it like from my little chest face portion of my body and just like fall onto this thing.
All right. If you're just doing that, I guess give me an attack roll so that you don't, just making sure you don't like just.
I got an 11.
All right. Yeah, you're definitely getting it. I will make a DC 15 will save. Oh no, that was a natural 6. It don't have a +9.
Beautiful.
All right. It does that and starts falling backwards down into the earth with you on it.
Oh, great. Ooh. All right. I get to do this one more time. Yeah, I'm going to try to jump off, see if I can, as it, because it's a lack of momentum, gives it just a moment of pause in the air, Wile E. Coyote style, and I'm able to try to leap back off of it. And agility check? Reflex save?
Reflex save, yeah.
Okay. A big old +0. Ooh, got a 10. Don't know if that's going to do it.
So you tumble a little bit, down, but you manage to grab yourself. It's like a sliding tumble. You got some bruises. And I rolled a D6 of falling damage, but I only am giving you 1 damage.
All right. You know what? I'm at half hit points anyway, so that's all right. I'm good with that.
I was like, well, I got to do a D6. That seems fair, but this might kill him. But yeah, so you managed to scramble the thing. Big, loud, kind of splorchy, sound when it hits the ground. You're not sure if you killed it, but it's definitely set back a long ways.
Yeah, and I just rolled for the D6 on the paralyze, and I got a 3, so it's paralyzed technically for 4 rounds, I guess.
Okay.
Not very long, but might be enough to give us some time to get out.
Yeah, it's probably long enough to give us a little bit of a lead.
So
I come running back up with like a busted leg now.
Yeah, you twisted your ankle. What do you guys still have to get over this like acidic corpse blockade or climb past it? Trying to go around it. What's the plan there?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't think of anything to get around it besides possessing somebody. So, well, shit.
The goblins kind of have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
How many are there? Like, how many sandbags in your metaphor? We would need to move.
We're like as tall. We're like 3 to 4 feet high in human sandbags.
Okay. And you need to clear that many sandbags to go through cleanly without getting.
You need to find you can clear them. That is one method. You need to find some way to get around. I mean, theoretically, you can just be the long jump champion. I don't know. Or pole vault champion, I guess, rather.
And as we saw, the slime on them is, like, damaging immediately.
Damaging.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody have any fire?
Well, the Fiend lost his Hellfire spell, unfortunately.
Yep, I did.
So, and I don't have any fire magic.
I stole a flint and steel candle and a book from the dead guy earlier.
Burn the book of prophecies.
Man. I'm gonna actually try to use force manipulation. If I get it right, there's actually a couple of options I've got with this. Let's see here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that's a 16. So that is floating platform. Okay, well that at least get the goblins across. Let me see how long it lasts for.
Oh, it's like turns. So.
Oh yeah, it is. It's CL. So 3 turns, so 30 minutes. We got it for quite some time. So
nice.
First thing I'll do is I summon it and get on the disc. It is no risk, I say, and I put my hand on it, showing that it actually is solid to the goblins.
Yeah, and it can carry 100 pounds per caster level. So
so it'd be the goblins, but I don't know if any of the rest of us could fit on it. Maybe the Fiend. Maybe.
I'll say make a vile check. Let's see if you're under 100 or not.
All right, hold on just a second.
Come on, roll up.
Or do you want John to make it or me?
No.
You, Ian. It's your character.
You're vile, yeah.
Did not make it, unfortunately.
Right.
How much 17. How much did you miss it by?
7.
That's a lot of vile to spend. Nope.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, John is able to conjure a, not name brand Tensor's floating disc, and the goblins can use it to hop over and get on the other side. But they're alone, but they have rope, as previously established.
So could we basically use the disc to kind of semi-support us as they pull us across the rope, and we kind of go climb / fold / float?
Yeah, you guys totally could, because you'd be taking off weight with the rope. The only one who would have the distance or have the issue
the Panther
is no, actually you're the character, John, because you can't get on your own floating disc.
Oh,
it follows you at it'll get within 5 feet.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to magic myself over here some other way. So yep, she'll just climb. She'll try to her best. Well, she'll use the rope and just try to climb up the rope as best she can.
Just make it. Well, let's start by keeping it simple. Just make a strength check, John.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, well, 10.
Okay.
Right at a 10.
Yeah. I mean, I think with other folks helping out, you're able to get over, and I guess the rope could have been tied around the Panther. You guys could have done that.
Yeah, that's a good point. We could do that. I mean, it's not like we can't literally control it.
So you guys are all able to get out. You're back up into the temple area proper. You kind of hear some kind of noise down below. You don't think that creature's dead, but it's definitely moving a lot slower. What do you guys want to do now that you are, for the moment, safe?
And we're out of the hole, correct? Or are we still down in it?
You're completely out of the hole. You're back up into the temple. There's just a wide open floor where there's that hole, and looks like right beneath where the statue was originally positioned. That's where like all this kind of like this blockage of the kind of corpses were. But you know, a lot of them burst open, and you see these little slime trails that you know along those little demonic humanoid-ish sea enemy creatures. They have like gone off into all parts, escaped this place.
The prophet we must find, leave this place behind. And I'll start looking around. Do we set fires is our policy? Nice. Do we see any other humanoids around here? Or is it just those things?
It's just and you don't even see them. You just see the trail of them now.
Got it. Okay.
You killed the one. You've killed both the humanoids you've met.
Got it.
Point down at the slime trails and I say, "Oh, that's not good." Look around and see.
As a
go ahead.
Potent listener in my description, does that why I have any way of drawing or slime for fun later?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's in your wheelhouse. Yeah, you go down to like you would have like a pot or some bags or something, or you'd find like a clay urn in the hut down there, and you're able to just kind of like get like a wooden spoon or something and just like kind of fill this clay pot up with like this, you know, kind of mild acid and cap it. So, like acid slime, pot of acid slime.
So I know that this place is made of stone, but outside, enough burnable things? The guy's hut?
Mean, the hut is totally burnable. Yeah, that's wood, but the temple itself is stone. All through.
I'll start a little bonfire in the hole, just keep throwing it down there.
Okay, yeah.
It take a little bit of time, but...
Yeah.
I can't think of I can't do any damage to this other than rocks. I guess I could keep pushing rocks onto it.
I'll say you would notice when you're gathering the slime does pit the stone a little bit.
Sorry, it does what to the stone?
It's like, you know how there can be like pitted metal? It's like doing that against the stone.
Mm-hmm. Is there any furniture or anything else in this? It's just an empty temple room. Atrium.
I mean, the hut is like... Do you remember Mako's hut from Conan the Barbarian? Like, it's like, you know, that level of sophistication and niceties and, you know, accoutrement.
I did live there, so okay.
Yeah. Except now there's also like a blind guy corpse in there.
Yeah. Are there any torches in this building at all?
Some
what
candles.
Are they called them? Candles, right? I always test if fire does anything to it.
To the candles?
Oh, to the creature at the bottom of the...
I mean, it's not... It's so far down, you're like throwing a fiery stick, and it's like, I think, it's like hard to hit. It's like 200 feet down below you.
Slime trails on the ground? Like, do they leave like a slug?
Yeah, like it starts trailing off. It doesn't like go on forever, but initially it's slug-like.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, my character, you know, the Grindel Spite, he pipes up and he says, "We should kill little things. Isn't that what Boss asked us?"
I mean, you'll have to track them down. It looks like there was dozens of them that got loose and have all fled the scene.
It's like Metroid 2.
Trying to think of what to do exactly.
I'm trying to think of anything clever or even.
I'll just say, like, you guys are not necessarily the good guys. You don't need to be like, well, we solved that problem. I'm just
thinking of exactly what to do from here. Yeah, we don't need to. I'm not worried about that. It's just literally the direction to take.
Morning yet?
Yeah, dawn is breaking. That definitely would have taken a few hours.
While the goblins are poking around and stuff, looking inside, do they see any signs of any people coming to this temple? On a hill, we can see a long ways, right?
You think you see in the distance some people coming. I mean, you did light a big fire and try that out, so there's smoke coming from here and in probably unusual amounts. So it's dawn, people are coming. The temple is in ruins, the hut is burned, the old man is dead.
We should run.
Yeah, I think that's the obvious choice. Get the flock out of here.
Yeah. I mean, we could go back to the village again that we took over.
That's days away. You could find yourself a new fancy village.
Okay, well, let's just bolt out of here then.
Another mystery solved.
All right. Well, you joked about it, but I don't think you actually burned the book of prophecies. So you have like
no, I did not.
Yeah, you guys have a handy thing there to study and try to figure out, maybe next possible moves from.
Yeah, let's have the hag. You should look in the book and see like if maybe the prophecies are in order in the time that they occur.
Ah, yes, the book. I shall take a look and I'll flip through the pages.
All right. Make an
intelligence. Wanted to make.
Okay.
Yeah. You're good.
I was just going to say, make an intelligence check. What were you saying?
I got a 9. Sorry.
I'll wait. It's okay.
I was like, on a 9, you will need more time to study. On a 9, nothing immediately jumps out to you, but you're not stuck. You just need time.
I only got a 9. I will need more time.
I was just going to say, I make a note of where it looks like people are coming from.
There you go.
An indication of.
That's a good idea.
Very good idea.
People stock.
All right. Well, I'm gonna